So I thought I would do something different and talk about something I never get to talk about, which is music, something I listen to all the time and never get a chance to talk about because I make book and movie reviews. So there's really no way I could put something like this in here without just randomly doing it. So here we go. My top six favorite bands of all time. So at number six, we have Iron Maiden. So I haven't been a fan of Iron Maiden for too long. Like I just got into them the past couple years, and I've been a metalhead for like I don't know 10 plus years, and I've heard a couple of their songs, but never got into them until these last couple years. And damn, I fucking love them. I just had to keep hearing more and more and more, and I was in a rough time in my life and I got into them, and they helped me get through that time. Like my parents was having trouble, and they got a divorce, and we had to move away from my dad, away from my hometown, and so not too long after that, I got into Iron Maiden, and they just helped me through that shit. So when I was having a rough day, I would just turn on some Iron Maiden and jam out, and just like forget about what was going on around me, and just relaxed. So I guess I'll also tell you what my favorite song is by each band. So with Iron Maiden, my favorite song would probably be Wasted Years. So at number five, we have Disturbed. So Disturbed was my first band I got into. That was my gateway band, if you will, gateway drug in the metal. Um, so a funny story about Disturbed. I used to be a big wrestling fan back in the day, and I hate wrestling now. I grew out of it, and it's just cringy as fuck to me now. But yeah, I used to be a big wrestling fan, and one of my favorite wrestlers was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I was showing my friends, at school, like wrestling, and my best friend, I got him into wrestling, and he loved Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin used to have a theme song written by Disturbed, and I didn't know that at the time. And my friend heard it, and he's like, "Hey, that sounds like Disturbed." So, and I was like, "Well, damn, they sound pretty good." So I started checking out their other songs, and that's how I got into heavy metal. I really liked Disturbed, and I just kept going from there and discovering new bands and stuff. So yeah, I owe it all to Disturbed. So favorite song by Disturbed would probably be Stricken. That used to be my favorite song ever. Back when I first heard it, I couldn't stop listening to it, and so it would probably still be Stricken for Disturbed. So number four. Now this one was hard to decide. I was having a hard time picking this band or the band in like this at number three, at which I wanted to put in number four. So I finally decided. So number four is Metallica. Metallica used to be my favorite band. I was crazy about Metallica. They, I think I found them not too long after Disturbed. So that was like my second band I got into after Disturbed. And like they were my favorite band for fucking years. And I discovered them, I believe, through Guitar Hero. I was playing one of the Guitar Hero games, and the song One was on there. And so I liked it a lot. I used to play it a lot on Guitar Hero. And then I started, discovering some more of their music, and I liked everything I heard by them. And yeah, I went from there. But since they don't make new music too often, like since I've been a fan of them, they've only made one album, and that was their newest album. That came out like 4 years ago now, I believe. Yeah, they don't make albums as much as they used to. And I think that's why they've kind of like me and Metallica's kind of drifted apart. I just don't like listening to them as much anymore because I've heard everything a million times now, and their songs have kind of gotten stale over the years. I've just heard it so fucking much now, and even their new album, I played it and played it and played it. With that album, like I was already feeling some fatigue by from listening to them so much, and then when their new album came out, I rediscovered my love for Metallica again, and then that album started getting old from playing it so much. But yeah, now me and Metallica has just kind of drifted apart, and they've been slowly going down my list of favorite bands. But yeah, they are at number 4, unfortunately. Maybe one day, if they come out with a new album, I'll rediscover that love again, and they'll go right back up to the top, because they used to be at number 1. But and hopefully they'll get there again one day. But yeah, so far or as of right now, they're at number 4. And my favorite song by them is hard to pick, because I'm torn between Fade to Black and One. Those songs are like tied for me, and it just depends on which mood I'm in, which song I listen to. But yeah, those songs are my favorite by them, and yeah, like I said, it just depends on which mood I'm in, which one I listen to first. But yeah, so the next band at number 3 would be Ghost, and this is another band that I not too long ago got into because of my niece. She showed me some pretty damn good songs and some pretty damn good bands. So yeah, she got me into Ghost, and I don't have too much to say about them. I don't have like a history or like a story to tell. Yeah, like I said, just got into them maybe year and a half ago. Like a lot of their songs, like their new album that they just came out with. And my favorite song by them would be Cerise. And that's actually my favorite song ever right now. Out of all the bands, out of all the songs I listen to, I always go to that one. I just love Cerise so much. So at number 2, we have Queen. And if it wasn't for the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, I would have never got into Queen. But I love that movie so much that I downloaded their songs, well, the real ones, not the movie versions. But yeah, that's how I got into Queen. And goddamn, Freddie Mercury is one brilliant singer and songwriter. Like, I idolize that man now. But yeah, I really liked that movie, and I know it wasn't accurate to Freddie Mercury's life. Like every time, and I didn't expect it to be. Every time they make a movie based on true events or whatever, it's hardly ever accurate. So I went in expecting that, and it didn't bother me, since I didn't know their history anyway, because I wasn't a fan of Queen before I watched the movie. So I went in not knowing anything. But yeah, it made a fan of me. And yeah, if it wasn't for that movie, and I'm fucking glad I watched it. I've already watched it several times since this came out. I watched it with other people, and I wanted them to borrow it just so they could see it and maybe become a fan of Queen like I did. But yeah, I love it, and I actually want to rewatch that movie. And I'm surprised I never reviewed it. But yeah, maybe I'll review it one day. But yeah, Queen at number 2, and my favorite song by them is probably I Want to Break Free. So we have made it to number 1. So what is my favorite band of all time? It is Nickelback. No, I'm just kidding. I had to do it. It was too funny not to. Okay. Seriously though, my favorite band of all time is Rammstein. So this is another band that my niece got me into, and goddamn, I'm glad she did. I'm glad she introduced me to Rammstein, because they are fucking phenomenal. Especially their live performances. I mean, they really go all out and entertain their audience. I mean, it's a goddamn event. It's not just a concert, but it's like something spectacular that you do not want to fucking miss. And you definitely have to go and check out their live performances. It's breathtaking. But yeah, like every song I've heard by them, I've absolutely loved it, and I can't get away from them. Every time I'm in the car, I have to be either listening to them or an audiobook. And yeah, like no other band comes before them. I love them at the moment anyway, till their music gets old, like Metallica. Because I'm bad at that. It like if I get into a certain type of music or a band, I'll be listening to it until I can't take it anymore. But yeah, that hasn't happened yet with Rammstein. And they're the only band that I listen to that sings in another language, German. And it's also made me want to learn German, and I have been for like the past few months now. I'm still a beginner. Like I can't talk to somebody in German, like have a conversation with them yet. But yeah, I do know some German. And so my favorite song by Rammstein would probably be, this is a hard one because I like a lot of their damn songs, but the two that comes to mind would be Du hast or Weißes Fleisch. Uh, but yeah, that's the two that comes to mind. But I really can't say that's a hard one. But yeah, uh, yeah, those two I feel good with those two choices. But yeah, definitely check out these bands, and if you haven't heard of them, which that seems impossible because you've at least heard of Queen. Everybody has. But yeah, you should definitely check these bands out. They're definitely worth your time, and maybe you'll become a fan of one of them, if not all of them, hopefully. And tell me your guys' favorite bands down in the comments. I would really like to know. Maybe me and you share the same taste in music. Hopefully, that'd be cool to meet another metalhead or have a metalhead subscriber. But yeah, it was fun talking to you guys about music for once. Um, I mainly did this video to like uh, for you guys to better get to know me and my music tastes, and hopefully get to know you guys better. You could tell me what you like listening to. But yeah, I don't like listening to music while I'm reading a book because that's just too distracting. If I'm reading a book, I have to focus on it. I can't have music in the background because that just gives me a fucking headache trying to do things at one or yeah, at once. But yeah, I mean, there's some of the music would be okay to listen to, but most of it, is fast and heavy, and that shit will give me a fucking headache trying to read through that. But yeah, guys, I will see you very soon for another video. I have a couple planned. I want to do a review to The Thing. I was supposed to do that back in October, and I lost the movie, and so yeah, I had to put it off. But yeah, that'll be coming soon, and a review to Stephen King's newest book, If It Bleeds. So expect that in the next few days, and I will see you guys later.